What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the meta wingers in FIFA 23. So we've got a variety of players that we can go from the cheap options all the way up to the expensive options. And to start with, we're going to go with one we're going to explain straight away with, if you've done his SBC, especially from when he started, is got to be our man Sterling. He's played quite a few games for me. He has now managed to come out of the team, but most definitely is still one that is pretty good. And I think if we were having this discussion a month ago, we'd be saying probably not, because obviously with Sterling comes no length fee. He is a 4-star, 3-star, 5'7", and he can be left mid, left wing, and right wing, so he has got multi-purpose with him. He is right-footed as well, so depending on how you use your wingers, if you want him, for instance, as a right wing, cutting in and crossing with his right, or obviously you want him on the left-hand side, cutting in actually properly with his right to finesse, he can do that. Obviously we have got the Hunter on him, and I just go up with some stats with him. He is a relatively cheap winger in terms of this SBC. It was coming in at 139 according to this market, and I think starting at 86, I want to say, with his nice double upgrade, he's looking pretty now. Obviously at 86 it was probably a bit average, and then now we've got the double upgrade. It's just nice to have a card that actually gets upgraded. In terms of his acceleration, very nice indeed. He is explosive until he has an architect, which makes him controlled, and in general very, very quick on the ball, which is always nice. Then we have some stats. Obviously dribbling looks pretty good, composure a little bit lower. He's one of the kind of cheaper to medium options, and I think another one that kind of goes with him now is got to be our man Vinny. Vinny started the game at a monster price. He has now come down because he has got a couple of versions. You can pick up this gold Vinny for 52,000 coins, which is absolutely incredible because he definitely still does the work. It is a bit of a shame that his finishing and everything like that isn't quite up to scratch, but most definitely not a bad player if you are looking for a cheap left mid, left wing, depending on how your formation goes. I will say with Vinny, left mid, left wing probably will work with him because the pace should give you that kind of nice balance. I personally play a 4-4-2 and still have winger type players. For instance, we normally have Terrier on the wing, who is left mid, and then we also have Messi who goes up top, but obviously Messi can play right mid as well. With Vinny, 5'9", 5'4", left mid, left wing, and he's got again the very same traits of massive acceleration, great sprint speed. Finishing wise 84, it's not quite incredible, but most definitely with a chem style can be sorted out. Great agility, composure, the exact same as Sterling, so you are getting almost a carbon copy for a little bit cheaper, and obviously Sterling is not available anymore. In terms of chemistry style, people are saying Deadeye is the way for him to obviously get that passing up as well as getting the shooting. He will get finishing up to 92, which actually does sort it out quite nicely. Other than that, you're looking at maybe a finisher to get some dribbling and also shooting. That will give him 99 agility and 87 balance, but I think the Deadeye could be the way if you are playing him left mid, and if you want to go all out shooting everything on him, then finisher probably is going to be the way forward. We've got flaring outside of the foot, a nice cheap option if you are looking for that sort of player to go into the game with rather than going for the high end. Also, as well, just as a note, with Vinny, he does have a 89 left wing in obviously the Path to Glory, I think they're called, but that is coming in at 2.6 million coins. That is an incredible card that has had a monster upgrade. So if you've got that, absolute GG's. He's probably as endgame as you'll want to be right now, especially if you've got him untradeable, then you're pretty much sorted in terms of left wings. If we then look at Ribery, again, another cracking player that you can get. This is his end of era, which I believe, we're going to confirm, has expired today or yesterday actually. A 5-star does have a rule breaker that I believe can be not left mid anymore. So if you want his a left mid version of Ribery, you're going to have to move him in game because his rule breaker can be centre forward, cam and striker, and is coming in at 450,000 coins. And also there is a little bit of a difference in stats. We're looking at in fact I can show you right here. In terms of what we've got for Ribery, he has got a 1 decrease on his pace, 3 on his shooting. And we go into Ribery, we forgot to put the B, and that should pick him up nicely. So obviously starts really low at 77, but as you can see, we've got free shooting gone. He has got more passing on his end of era. Same dribbling, 2 less defending, and obviously 2 less physical. So obviously he's more geared toward passing as a left mid, and most definitely is an incredible card, mainly down to that 5-star. 5-star can be cam and striker from this card as well, but I would probably say left wing would be absolutely perfect with him. He is 5'7", again a nice upgrade on from the Vinny and Sterling, with a big composure difference, as well as then having great pace still and ability to put a chem style on him, which I believe will come in as a hunter, I can imagine. Yeah, hunters all the way for him. So a hunter keeps him explosive, and it will give him 97 pace and 91 shooting. That is a fantastic card if you've managed to do him before he's gone out of an SBC, but was coming in at 630,000 coins. Then we have a look at Son. So we have a road to the to World Cup. This is not an upgradable version, but one that can be a very, very good card if you are looking for a new sort of left mid. Again, he has got a 90, which is a little bit cheaper by half, 320, and then his gold card, which is also within range, only a +2 compared to that, is coming in at 40,000 coins as well. We've got 6 foot high, medium, right footed, left wing, left mid. Personally with me, I do prefer Son as a striker, especially in these higher end versions, but most definitely could play this wing as a very attacking winger. I would play Son personally as a front three rather than on that left mid. If you're playing a very balanced 4-4-2 or 4-1-2-1-2, I would probably say you want to be a striker for Son. If you're playing more of a heavy 4-3-3, then that definitely is the position for Son to go in. You're going to be very much attacking with him. The composure's up there. We've got great finishing. Obviously, you're going for something pace-based, as well as then anything else to just max out that card completely. Looks a very, very nice card with traits and everything doing the business. Then we also have, to finish off, we have a Neymar. I think you can't do a meta wingers list and not have a Neymar on here. Again, coming in relatively cheap for what his card actually is. We do have a cam version that I believe can be left mid still. That's always good. So that's coming in at 946,000 coins, and his gold version is only coming in at 216 at the moment. So obviously with Neymar, personally, we've got one more actually that I want to pick up on, but Neymar is very good in game. I feel like his run type is definitely different. His body type is Neymar, so it is obviously a different version of the car, a different version of what normal players have. It is his own sort of type, and I believe he has his own run as well, which he shares with the man that we will compare him as well to, who most definitely is a little bit more expensive than him, and that is going to be our man Ronaldinho. So obviously with this card, he can be left wing as well. I do like him as a cam. He can be cam, left wing, centre forward, and his prime that will come out is already left wing. Both of them have that same run type. It's just a very, very meta dribbling type. Left stick is just absolutely incredible, but obviously the difference in price is going to be massive. In fact, I can search it on here for him. He is just next level in terms of there we go. Next level in terms of run type. So obviously Neymar's coming in at 216. This guy's coming in at about 2.2 mil. Or 2.3 in fact, so an incredible difference in terms of price for very similar on the cards. Obviously with Ronaldinho, pace, shooting's up, passing's up, dribbling's one less, defending we don't care about, and he's got a bit more physical, and also a 5-star 4-star, whereas Neymar comes in as a 5-5. Both can have chem styles on. You're probably looking more as a hunter, I can imagine, for Neymar, just to max out that pace as much as possible. You'll end up with 95 pace, 88 shooting, which again turns Neymar into a very, very solid card that you can use for predominantly a lot of the game until we see some upgrades in Team of the Year. We start seeing kind of more promos geared towards left wings of the top end variety. Like I suggested, we've got Ribery, we've got a Son now. Obviously Vinny's got his upgrade. We'll start to see a prime Ronaldinho. There is a lot of cards that will start to come way over Neymar in terms of rating, but it depends on how you personally use him. With Neymar, again, heavy left wing like Son, but his left stick dribbling is going to be absolutely elite. So personally for me, he's one that I would get as a cheaper option for the top end sort of card. If I've not got much coins, I would be looking at maybe a Vinny as the kind of cheapest option that you're going to find at a good level. If you've already done Sterling, obviously reap that reward. I'd say Ribery, Ronaldinho, Son, Neymar are going to be all of your high end. Then we move over to the right mid. So the first player we want to look at is got to be our man Messi. He is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And even better yet, even if you don't want to do the SBC, his gold card is coming in at 67,000 coins. I don't think I'd see a Messi, especially for the last 10 years, that is 67,000 coins before December. That is absolutely nuts. He did have a massive pace downgrade from obviously his previous card and previous card before that. He now has a base of 81, which makes this right mid that little bit better, to be honest. And I think that is where my personal interest goes with Messi. We have got both versions. We did pack him a couple of days ago. So unfortunately, with that flashback, the normal Messi does turn into a little bit of a fodder card more so than anything, which again, I never thought I'd be saying for a long time. It is unfortunately getting to that point, but Messi again is still a very top end card to get. I would say Messi this year, obviously with this card, you can see there is a lot of games lost left because obviously was doing different requirements for him in terms of friendlies. So obviously the goal ratio doesn't quite add up. But in terms of the goals he has played in, he has done very well. And I will say I do normally put him as a striker, and I will be testing him in more of a right wing position, just purely for the fact that I've got some advice from other people that have played him on the right mid, and he still is as effective as he is for me when he's up front. Personally, him and Mbappe have done an absolute tag team, but I think right mid is where he's kind of go for me to kind of get up and down the pitch and have that class, because we've got the composure on him. The dribbling's incredible. We've obviously got good finishing once we whack the hunter on him, especially with this 87 version, but it doesn't stop there for him, because obviously he does have a 94 as well. If we're looking at this card though, he gets 97 pace, 87 shooting, which again is very top end. If we're looking at his 94, we again have a nice card. Not necessarily incredible amount of pace, but that is going to have to be sorted out with a hunter, which again is a forced one if anything, but we get 93 pace, 96 shooting, and then a nice upgrade to 99 composure. The dribbling's pretty much maxed out everywhere. So other than maybe going up to a 99, 96, 97, Messi's going to be as good as he's going to get. And obviously with that pace increase from a 99, if he does manage to get there, I can imagine he will, but it will take some time. That will be kind of almost the final card. We haven't quite had a Messi end of era SBC, he says as he looks at the generation. No, I don't believe we have. So we're still waiting on an end of era. I suppose they gave him a footies 99 back in FIFA 21 when he changed from Barca to PSG, but we haven't actually had a proper end of era Messi. So that probably will come next year, I can imagine, if he does transfer from PSG. If he continues, he might have one more year left, but again, a top end card. Then we move on to some of the lower options. So we've got Dembele here. With Dembele, if I quickly go and check the price, because he was, I believe, in the best of team of the week, his price has absolutely plummeted. So he's gone down from about a couple of days, and he was down to about 300. Now he's coming in at 120,000 coins. He was coming in at 105, and as a 5-star with great pace, great dribbling, this is a very nice card to have on that right mid or right wing. Left-footed, 5'10", flair on the traits. As we said, the pace is incredible for him. The 5'5" is what adds like that benefit for him, and I would suggest, I can imagine, yeah, okay, I was right. I was going to say a lot of people might say Deadeye just to get that passing up a little bit, but it's 100% finisher with this guy. We end up with 93 finishing, 90 shot power, as well as 99 agility and 87 balance. It's absolutely perfect for him. He is an absolute pain in the rear end to try and defend against if that guy knows how to do left stick dribbling. Honestly, he's just so quick. Very much like Neymar on the other side. I personally like having that very skillful player, not necessarily to do all of the 5-star skills, but most definitely to have that ability to turn in a second, to be able to go one way, juke the other, and then turn back that way. That works so many times. It is unreal if you are playing against somebody who just can't defend left stick dribbling. I'm not the greatest at it, and it works pretty much 90% of the time. Sometimes if I get lucky, I'll choose the right way, I get the tackle in. But with Dembele, and especially someone like Neymar, maybe a Messi as well, you're going to have that advantage of being very quick on the dribble. If we're then looking at Anthony, again, pretty much post-patch of Lenfi, these players were absolutely nothing. And we are looking mainly at his one to watch. I think his gold version might just be out of the kind of circumstances to kind of call him meta relevant. If I can actually get his name up, we've got a lot of players with ANT. He is coming in at 295,000 coins. This card can still be upgraded, but I believe it has been upgraded from the Brazil win. So he is now going to have informs or any team of the tournaments, something like that, to get him up even more. Obviously, with him an 86, his previous version was 82, so he's had a nice upgrade from there in a +4, and most definitely a very quick sort of winger. Comes in as a 5-star, 3-star, not quite on Dembele's level, but obviously if you are playing to the fact that he can be upgraded still, and he's looking semi-decent at United with the very limited matches that we're looking at, he has definitely put in a couple of shifts. He's not quite necessarily overtaken everybody, but he's definitely got maybe an inform or two in him by the end of the year, which depends on how late we are with him. There is a lot of mids, right mids and left mids that can go either or with obviously the new position change. So it'll be interesting to see where he lands. And maybe if he does scrape into a team of the season, I personally don't see it just yet, but obviously we've still got half of a season left with obviously this World Cup still taken into consideration. But again, a nice card, 295k. Again, very much he's kind of like a specific pick. You are looking for Anthony if you want him. I feel like there's definitely more options out there. For instance, a flashback Messi that would overtake him in the general population of right mids. And then we move over to Salah. Personally, never been a fan. Never could use him properly. Still a very, very top-end player. Loved all of his team of the seasons. But when it comes to just naturally having him in your team, to be honest, I've only ever had one version of him in terms of a special version, and that was a striker version. We used it striker in, I want to say it was the Freeze. I will find the card. It was in FIFA. If we can find it. When was it? Was it? Oh, no. That was Mane. I was thinking, I knew it was a Liverpool winger. Salah, we've had, I want to say one of the versions, probably more than likely the team of the seasons at the end of the year, which, to be honest, if he's not a good card at a team of the season, he never will be. And definitely in the team of the season variety, he is fantastic. But gold version of him, never really got on with. Just never could use him properly. And most definitely that kind of hindered my experience with him. He's 83,000 coins with a gold. He's still got all of the relevant stats that you need. Obviously can be right wing, right mid, 4-star, 3-star, so a little bit down the order, especially if you are paying for the 92, which is coming in at 362,000 coins. Again, I would prefer him as a striker, to be honest. With the pace and shooting, he definitely reminds me very much of a quick, nippy striker with a partner of somebody with a little bit more strength. Very much a Ronaldo sort of based partner would actually do really well. Finesse and outside of the foot are the two, and obviously with him, he has got the finishing, he's got the dribbling, the stamina. He naturally is a very, very top-end card in terms of a right wing. And then to finish off with, I thought, you know what, we'll get the two Brazilians on the go. We have got Jairzinho and Garrincha. Jairzinho, obviously, or Jairzinho, I never know how you pronounce his name, but hopefully I'm doing it right. These are the two mid versions of him, and they both have a 92 right wing for him, and Garrincha has, I believe, I want to say a 94 coming. I could be totally wrong, but we will double check. 94. So both of them have a nice prime upgrade, a +2 for Jairzinho, and then a +2 as well again for Garrincha. I will say Garrincha does look the better card in terms of the overall, obviously, but in terms of this card, he has definitely taken the storm, and not necessarily always for his base card. I've personally seen a hell of a lot of him from his mid card. I've seen a lot of his base card, to be honest, which normally is absolutely crackers, because obviously with the difference between the two, I would have thought the mid would look and feel a little bit better, but I suppose price always comes down to it. If we are looking at the price between the two, Jairzinho is coming in at a whopping 1.8. Wow. And Garrincha, to be honest, is coming in at 909,000 coins. That is absolutely crazy. With obviously Jairzinho, his base is coming in at 1.5 mil still. That is nuts. And Garrincha's base is coming in at 535. Personally, that tells me everything I need to know, just purely on the fact that I definitely seen pros use this card rather than Garrincha. And after playing with Garrincha's base, I want to say, I think we have used his mid as well, but not quite done a video. I personally think that, yeah, this card would be better personally. Garincha just felt a little bit off this year, but it was, not post, it is pre-lengthy meta change. So, again, these could be completely different now with that explosive going into it, but both very, very similar. 5-star, 4-star, 5-7, 5-8. Obviously, the medium-low for Garincha and high-high for Jairzinho. Both right-footed, I believe. Yeah. And in terms of stats, we are looking... Well, let's go traits first. We've got power header, outside of the foot, flare, power free kick. So the outside of the foot is going to be one that's going to be really relevant, especially with how Travellos were. We have got, obviously, a decent upgrade in terms of stats. It will be nice to see the difference. In fact, I wonder if we can actually see them in concepts yet. I don't know if... let's go Brazilian right wing, because that should narrow it down pretty much to the 2. I don't know if we can see primes. No, we can't see primes yet. So in terms of the difference between primes, we can compare them on Footbin at least. We've got Garincha as the 94, 90 pace, so he's kept the same pace, which is absolutely crackers. So we've got 94 pace difference on the Jairzinho. We've got 92 shooting on Jairzinho. We've got less passing, which is obviously going to be the big benefit for Garincha. And then we have less dribbling by 3. Garincha's prime having 96, and the physicality really doesn't matter on the cards. But the pace and shooting is going to be a massive, massive benefit. I think both of them have got the same sort of composure, which is crazy. And on the primes, we don't actually have Jairzinho's stats, because obviously he didn't have a prime before this year, but I can imagine he will come in at more value as well. So with right wings, I would say Dembele is probably your best fit for this version. I think in terms of 100k, definitely well spent. If we're looking throughout all of right wings, I personally think there is a massive array that you can go with. Seen a lot of, I think it's out of position, is it? Out of position James, incredible card. Chiesa's not a bad one. Savio being a road to the knockout, definitely a nice upgraded one now. We then look at George Best, we look at Cole. I think Rafinha's not terrible, again coming in a little bit less. Akone for pace, not a bad one as well. But in terms of golds, there's no real standout ones other than maybe a Messi and obviously a Salah. Them two are obviously always going to be in the question, but I think they are taken over now with just anybody with a bit of pace. Even Caldrado coming in with 94 pace is going to have a good amount of pace down that wing. Same with Bailey. Not necessarily top end, but most definitely on the cheaper variety. And that is going to be your meta wingers for today. I want to know down below, who have you got? I want to know your wingers. Are they left mid, left wing, or are they just specifically changed into your almost your top 4? Do you play a, what is it, a 4-4, is it 4-2-2-4? Absolutely mad formation, but you never know. Or is it 4-2-4? 4-8-10, I suppose, yeah, 4-2-4. If you've got an extra 2 players, let me know how to do that as well. That would make a cracking video. But let me know down below what you'd like to see next. I think we are going to do more of a base mid, CDMs, cams, and CMs. Let me know what you'd like to see as well. And also, we'll do a big video, probably next week, on every single position, picking 1 or 2 in every position and see what sort of chemistry we'll get. Let me know down below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.